So hello everybody, welcome to live stream 26. Tried another solution with the harp, which isn't direct from the software, which is where it should be, but anyway, hopefully it sounded okay. I did it from the iTunes instead, and hopefully that sounded okay. We'll see how that worked later. Anyway, welcome. I think we've still got a few people coming on stream, so I'll just say hello to the people that I can see. Hopefully I'll pick everybody up. So that's Lynn, Ashleisha, Dan. What else have we got? Leah Tilda, Heather, Christine, Elizabeth, Anne, Vivian, Dion, Nancy, Lewis. Yeah, I think that's all the ones I can see at the moment, and no doubt there's some others as well. So welcome to you. Sandy, I can see as well, as just come on. And also welcome to those who are watching on catch up or on replay. So as I say, this is live stream 26, the title of which is the Unseen Seer. But it's also auspiciously 1st of March and the start of the 3-month meditation program. And at last check, and I haven't got the figure right here in front of me, there was about 36 or 37 people who said they're going to commit to that. So that's fantastic. Not all of those necessarily watching right now, because I know there's quite a few people who have got other plans for tonight, but we'll watch it on catch up, so that's fine. All the streams are automatically recorded anyway, and are usually live on YouTube within about an hour. And I've just heard my email ping, so I'm going to turn that off. Excuse me a moment. Yeah, okay, so that shouldn't happen again. Yeah, so they're usually available on YouTube as a recording within about an hour, and I post them on Facebook and on the website, both on the main site and also as part of the forum. So for those of you who are new to it, that's what will happen. So yeah, for the stream for the 3-month meditation, I was looking at the various people that have joined us and the countries. I just thought that would be interesting to share. We're quite good coverage. So we've got several people in the USA, most people in the UK, as you might imagine. That's where I am. Trinidad and Tobago, the Netherlands, Belgium, the Philippines, Russia, Sweden, and Canada. And those are the ones I know about. So if I've missed your country and you're part of the 3-month meditation program, you feel free to let me know. And I've also seen Curtis and Lee come on stream as well. So the way I'm going to run tonight's stream is I'm going to do the usual sort of insight sharing around the Unseen Seer this time. And then I'll move on to some of the admin around the 3-month meditation program, just to make sure everybody's clear around that. And we'll finish off with an infinite silence meditation as always. So that's the way I'll do that. And I may be able to, there's a facility on YouTube where I might be able to split this recording, have a whole version plus the insight sharing and the kind of 3-month meditation as a separate piece. We'll see. Just been looking at that technology. Anyway, so for those of you who listen to live streams 24 and 25, 24 was called Who is This Self in Self Realisation? And 25 looked at the fundamental spiritual inquiry question, which is, who am I? And I'm seeing this stream tonight, the Unseen Seer, as completing a trio on the nature of this self and in self-realization. And you remember in stream 24, for those of you who've seen it, and if you haven't, it's worthwhile going back to look at it, because it might make what I'm saying tonight make more sense to you. I was focusing on then the nature of this self. What is this self? And the kind of major point arising out of it is that it's what I refer to as the infinite silence, and it's totally non-personal. And this infinite silence in other ways is expressed as pure awareness. Pure awareness. And it's very important to understand that this self in self-realization is totally non-personal. It's just awareness, and it's awareness of itself as infinite silence. And then I went on to share that this expression that we have of that in the form is the way that it comes to experience itself. Without the beingness and the physical domain and time and space, we won't have experience, because the absolute, the infinite silence, has no experience. So that was the summary of stream 24. And then in stream 25, I went in to explore that deeper by looking at the question, who am I? And you'll remember the summary of that one, this question, who am I, when explored to its depth. Mind goes, well, I am this person with this story, these beliefs, and so on. But you remember I pointed out at great length that any phenomena, any sensations and so forth, weren't the self, whether it be from feelings, sensations, emotions, even beingness, even just pure beingness, nothing after the words I am, that wasn't the self either. You are before I am. The infinite silence is before the I am. So I'm just summarizing those two streams again, 24 and 25, because what I want to go on to now is what I've referred to as the Unseen Seer, because that's another reference or pointing to or label that we can use for the nature of this true self as infinite silence. And it's the unseen seer. Just listen to those two words carefully. Unseen seer. This means that this true self is the unseen. We're so used to seeing, feeling, touching, tasting, hearing, and yet this true self is the unseen. And it's also the seer. What does that mean? It means that from the personal identity space, human personhood, that's not the self, and you're not going to realize that you are this infinite silence whilst there's still identification and attachment and belief in that identification as the form, as the person, as the ego. For this to be realized, this identity has to be dropped. And so that you, in the non-personal sense, become the unseen. In fact, you are already this unseen, and you've never not been that. The realization then is about dropping the identity so that the awareness or remembrance or realization can come that you are the unseen, the pure awareness, the infinite silence. This also fits with a question. I'm not sure what the origins of this question are actually. I did have a quick look. It doesn't really matter because its pointing is still important anyway. And I've heard it referred to as the Purana question. And the question is, this self, can this also be seen? And then going on to say, this you must discover for yourself. This self in self-realization, can this also be seen? That is basically the Purana question. And you might wonder why it's called the Purana question. And the reason it's called the Purana question is that it swallows you up. Like the who am I question, when explored to its end point, it swallows the personal identity up. And it's in the dropping of the belief in the personal identity completely that the awareness or the realization of the self emerges. It's not something that's seen in the traditional sense. It is the awareness of this, and that you, in the non-personal sense, are it. That is suddenly realized, remembered, known. It is seen that you are the awareness in the non-personal sense. The awareness recognizes itself as awareness. That's all. And that's why it is unseen. It is not seen from the human space. It is recognized, remembered, realized from its own space in the non-personal sense, and that's what you are. So hopefully you're starting to piece together why I've considered this as a trio of streams, from who is this self in self-realization and the who am I question, and now looking at it from the perspective of the unseen seer. This just gives us another angle, another pointing, another way to explore this, and that all becomes clear as the personal identification has dropped. And you may have remembered that I've said on other streams, it's only the belief that you are not this realized self now, i.e. the belief that you are this person with this story, that stops the realization. Only that one fundamental case of mistaken identity stops the realization, whether it's conscious or unconscious. And when a crack in that armor opens, the armor of ego, then the possibility of the realization emerges. And you will realize that you are, in the non-personal way, the unseen. And you will also realize that you are therefore the ultimate seer. S-E-E are. S-E-E-R, the Unseen Seer. This is what you are. Not the personhood, not the identity, not the story, but this. And this is something that you don't have to, in fact, I highly recommend that you don't believe me on. Don't believe a word I say, because truth, as in ultimate truth, is an experience, not a belief. Let me say that again. Truth is an experience, not a belief. When it becomes experiential, non-personally, then it is realized. Like this, the unseen, one realizes one is the unseen, the infinite silence, the true self. And it turns out it's fundamentally, it could not be simpler, because one already is this. So self-realization doesn't become a goal or an end point. It simply is a realization of that which is here. You get there by realizing you are already there, and there being the realized self. This mind cannot grasp, but this is already known by you. Just going to pick up on a few more hellos. I think I've seen D come on, Lee, Lisbeth, welcome to you, Lois, John, Light Guardian, and if I've missed anybody, apologies. I'm just having a quick look now. I think that's everybody, and I think there's a comment here which I'm gonna just pick. Oh, question. This is tonight's live stream. Yes, it is, Lois. It's stream 26, and it's the Unseen Seer, and it's also the start of the 3-month meditation. Just want to pick up on a comment from Light Guardian, who's saying, I understand the concept, but the ego can't drop in this 3D dimension. So we'll never get this from the space of mind until it is experiential. Then it's just theoretical. Now, there is some truth in what you're saying in the latter part of there, of the ego can't drop in this dimension. And the reason that there is truth in that is that there has to be a little, should we say, like a grain of sand, like the pearl that creates the pearl in the oyster, that allows the physical, the beingness, to manifest. So it's often referred to as an illusion, but you could also say it's both real and unreal. Now, when the grain of sand becomes identified with, and you start to add to that and become the story, then you get a very strong ego, and you get great suffering as a result. But as the opening to the heart space occurs, and the story starts to drop, and the beliefs in particular drop, that you are the person and the story, then, and the openness is emerging and flowering, that actually that you are this essence, this infinite silence, then the belief and identification and the attachment to the grain, which at one time may become a huge snowball, for instance, all of that starts to go. Now, to hold the body here in this dimension, then it is true that the grain has to be there. But if there's no identification with it, no belief that one is that, then this gives the opportunity for the self to be realized. There's now an opening that's wide open to the awareness that you are, in fact, the awareness. So what you're pointing at is actually accurate, but all of the belief that one is the grain of sand, this must go. Because with that, there will always be suffering. When that goes completely, and I mean completely, totally, then the suffering can drop. It doesn't mean that there isn't still the uniqueness of the expression of the silence in a particular form. I've often referred to it as like a diamond. You see the diamond through the facets. The facets here are now like the grain of sand. And you see the beauty of the diamond because of the way the light shines on and through the facets. One knows one is the whole diamond, yet your form is like a facet or the grain of sand that creates the pearl. The knowing, the awareness that you are the totality, the unseen seer. What this requires is the dropping of all of the identification and the belief and the attachment in that. And as that happens, the suffering drops with it. Usually, for most people, this is quite a gradual process or an apparent process. It can be, however, very dramatically sudden, like it was for Eckhart Tolle. That's fairly rare. More often than not, it unfolds as a journey, as more and more personhood is dropped. So back to what I was saying about the unseen seer, this unseen seer that you are, the infinite silence, again, is completely non-personal. It is unseen from the personal perspective. It is only the seer, the awareness of itself as awareness. So coupled with streams 24 and 25, this part, as I say, is just to give you another take on, another angle of view, so to speak, on the nature of the self. Non-personal awareness. That's it. That's all you are. Just awareness. And then the form and the beingness then become a gift from that absoluteness, where there's no phenomena, no experience, to express and experiencing itself. And then this way, life becomes a more gentle, more graceful flowering. You're still going to have to, eat and do all the things that one does in the physical domain. Like that old Zen saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. In the first case, there was suffering. In the second, the identifications dropped. And now there's a more graceful, more aligned existence with the truth of who you are. So I'm hoping that picks up on your question or observation, Light Guardian. Just see if there's anybody else that wants to ask or share anything on that before I move on to the second part of the stream, which is the start of the 3-month meditation program. So yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything desperate at the moment, so I'll move on, and if there is, I can always come back to that. So yeah. All right, so Nancy's asking, are you saying we will be in this state full time? For this to be the case, Nancy, the identification has to drop completely. And this tends to unfold in stages for most people. It's very rare that it's like one big lightning event. However, once that identity has dropped completely, it doesn't mean, and the self has been unequivocally realized. This you will know. This you would know. It doesn't mean that there aren't still the facets of the diamond there or the grain of sand. You will still see some, shall we say, particular characteristics of the way the silence is expressing itself in the particular form. There's something unique about its expression in that form. You may even still see some quirks, some what you might call personality quirks of that, but it doesn't mean that that being hasn't realized. Itself. It's just the silence is expressing itself in a unique and particular way. And this is why, certainly in spiritual traditions, you may resonate with how one individual, or apparent individual more accurately, shares the pointing compared to another. What they're actually saying is the same thing, but in slightly different ways. What you can be sure of, though, is that what you experience as lots of troubling stuff going on, lots of suffering and so forth, by far the vast majority of that will go. It doesn't mean that the washing machine doesn't break down or your car doesn't need fixing or that you don't, all these things are still going to happen. But you're going to find a much more graceful flow, much less. You're not really going to be triggered by stuff. You may still notice a little, shall we say, maybe perturbation occasionally. I've heard Eckhart Tolle talk about this. He talked about some time where he saw a dog being very badly treated, and he felt something emerge in him which he hadn't felt for some time, which was a little bit of distress or anger, but he noticed it then subsiding. Like this, sometimes that might happen occasionally, but what you'll notice, the awareness is so strong now of itself as awareness that there may still be something in the energetic field of the body that needs to be cleared. But as it arises, it is immediately observed or witnessed. And it's witnessed from this space of silence. And that alone is enough for it to dissolve. And this, my friends, is the essence of live stream 11, transmuting fear into love. One I've spoken to you about a great deal about, how just the pure awareness alone that's talked about in that stream is enough to transform you back to that state. So yes, the awareness will be there when it's fully anchored, and I mean fully anchored. Not just a glimpse, I'm talking about fully anchored. The kind of dissolution of all of the stuff, which can take some time even after the realization. Then the awareness will be the stable background state. Like that. It's a fallacy to say that there's no uniqueness or that there's this idea of a perfect being. The absolute perfection, the infinite silence, that's what you are. But only that is really the absolute perfection. Yet the facet, it is through the beauty of the facet that you see the diamond. And that will be expressed with peace, grace, love. Presence is the thing you're going to notice. Presence. Like that insight I've shared with you before. Thought cannot heal your pain. Presence will transform it. That presence is the silence. And that's what you are. And it will be that presence that is the guiding principle of the life in the form as it's fully realized and anchored. So that's a fairly long answer to your question, Nancy, but hopefully, well, it looks like it has done it for you. So that's great. That was a good question. It's important. There's some important stuff there. So I'm going to move on now to the 3-month program itself. And first of all, I want to say a big thank you to, well, all of you on the stream and anybody watching on catch up for committing to this 3-month meditation program. I've genuinely been pleased and surprised at the numbers that have come to join this, because it's quite a commitment, but it's something that you can all do. So congratulations and gratitude for taking this journey. I'm very pleased about that. And as I'm sure most of you know now, but just in case there are some watching that don't, the particular inspiration for this program came from the experience I shared with Jeannie, who has now passed into spirit in December. And she, as you know, she left a legacy for 10 one-to-ones with me for people I would felt that would most benefit. And it occurred to me, or it came to me, should I say, that to do that in a way that people were going to really commit to their realization. Because for me, the reason she left that legacy was, to say, look, use this life now well to realize who you are. So that's the fundamental reason I sensed from the sharing with Jeannie. So grateful that you're committing to that. You can all do this. You can all do this. And actually, as you commit to, even if it's just 30 minutes a day using the meditations that I'll speak about in a moment, that if you really commit to that and make it your number one priority in any one day, you're going to find that easy to keep to. And the fact that if you're going to want to do it, and you're probably going to get to the point where even half an hour you think, oh, I could do with more than half an hour a day. And you can follow that if you want to. But if you truly commit to this, the benefits you'll get are huge. Not because I say so, but because you will see for yourself the benefits emerging, and you'll want to do more. So really, I'm encouraging you here to commit, commit, commit. Commit with trust. Don't listen to this one who thinks that, oh, I'm not sure if I've got time today for 30 minutes. You've always got time. Even when I was working 60 or 70 hours a week, I still found time. Somebody was asking me earlier, I won't name the name unless you want to make themselves known, about, finding privacy. When I was doing that 60, 70 hours a week, some of the times I had to meditate on the train, on the plane, on the bus, all sorts of strange places, but I still wanted to do the meditation. Even with traveling all over the country. So you can do it. Of course, it's nice to be sat at home in your chair or lying down or whatever, but don't let location stop you. Doing the meditation before you get up, yeah, that's fine. Find the spot that's going to work for you, the sweet spot, and stick with that if you can. Obviously, things do happen. If you need to do it on the bus, on the train, or on the plane, do it there. Do it. Might make the journey pass better. It will. Meditated for 6 hours on a bus trip. Fantastic, Dan. Brilliant. So there's no limit. Sometimes people place limits on where they meditate. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. You're just limiting your experience. Now, with the program, the 3-month program, I'm particularly recommending, inviting you from the experience I had with Jeannie to use the infinite silence meditation. And there are 2 versions of that available in 30-minute format. One is the infinite silence experience video. It's the most viewed video on my channel. That one is quite silent. I sit in the silence with you, having guided you into that space. So this one you can use if you want in a, shall we say, a quieter space. The other most common one, it's about 33-minute long video, is the International Peace Day video. That one's, shall we say, there's more pointing. I'm not going to call it guiding because it's not really guiding, it's words coming from the silence. If you're relatively new to meditation or are making a new commitment to meditation, you might find that one a good one to start with until you become comfortable with getting yourself into the space of the silence, and then perhaps move to the infinite silence experience video. But please do use one of those 2. Also, there's also a solstice meditation that's part of a live stream. That's longer. The stream is longer. The meditation might be about the same time. This is also another one that you can use. I'm particularly wanting you and inviting you to use the infinite silence meditation because this meditation did not come from here. It wasn't created by that which you think of as Philip. This meditation was an inspiration and awareness from the silence itself. And the message basically is this approach is a very direct connection from you to you. And this you is the non-personal essence that you are. This meditation, the reason it's so powerful for so many is because of that. If you're not familiar, like a number of people joining the program probably aren't, with the infinite silence meditation, then I'm going to recommend, and in fact I would recommend it to all of you, to be honest, is to listen to live stream 18. Live stream 18. It is the infinite silence meditation explored and experienced. This stream goes into great depth as to why the meditation is the way it is, how it emerged, and why it is so powerful, and why I'm saying choose this for your meditation. Not just any old meditation, but this one. This one. It is so direct. It is so simple. It's not something that Philip created. It came from the silence itself. It's an invitation from the self to this space. So please, 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 for your own benefit, focus on this. Focus on this. And when you've become so comfortable with that, with one of the videos I've recommended, the space you're wanting to get to is that becomes then a natural thing, and you don't necessarily need the video support at that point. You can still use it, you know, the presence is still there. The presence of the silence is encoded in the videos. But the kind of aim ultimately we're all trying to get to is where you can do this anytime, like that old Martini advert, anytime, any place, anywhere. You remember that one if you're in the UK. If you're overseas, it may mean nothing to you. It was just a strap line for a Martini advert. I'm glad to hear that you say that, Dan, and many people have said that about the meditations being so powerful. And I cannot overstate enough the reason they're so powerful is because of the directness of them and the simplicity of them. So in committing to this, I'm really, encouraging you to use these specific meditations. They are transformative, not because Philip says so, but because they came from the silence, and you are that. So that's enough about which meditations to use. Any doubts about that, let me know, but they're all included in that email. They're all included in that email, all the links. They're all on the YouTube channel, they're all on the website. I've also drawn out in the email, I won't go through them all in great depth now, that's gone out, some other suggested ones that if you've got more time one day and you want to have a little bit more time, not just 30 minutes, you want to spend some longer time, the meditation is also takes the form of a number of other streams. And I've listed those in the email. I'll just say them briefly here. Live stream 6, Letter from God. That's a very different form of the infinite silence meditation. Not the usual way I do it, but it's still a very powerful infinite silence meditation because the words came from the silence. Live stream 11, Transmuting Fear into Love. Again. Live stream 17, The Open Gaze, where there's no words. It's still the infinite silence meditation. Live stream 19, Beyond Phenomena, from Awakening Experience to Absolute Self Realisation. There's a specific meditation at the end of that one, but it also, again, it gives you another look at the meditation. And live stream 20, Being a Mirror to Truth. So if you've got more time one day and you're wanting to explore something deeper, These are just some suggestions. Any stream will be fine. These are just some suggestions. What's D saying? I found it good to do in different locations on trams, buses, and lots of short moments during the day. It helps you make I could not agree more, D. Perfect. Yeah. Just, if you've got that time, just do that. Because you really want to be able to be in this space anytime, any place, anywhere. Dee's also saying it's amazing. The more you do these meditations, the easier it is to drop in. And I find certain words seem to allow dropping in no matter where you are. And again, this is another reason why I'm particularly focusing on this infinite silence meditation, and the inspiration for the program is based on this. Really. So, if you've not experienced it before, just to summarize, Livestream 18, Infinite Silence Meditation, explored and experienced. Then use Infinite Silence Experience Meditation, or International Peace Day Meditation, or the Solstice Meditation. Use those. Become clear on its use, and then maybe you'll be able to do that without the use of the video, and that's the space we ultimately want to get you, if you like. So it then can be anytime, any place, anywhere. And as far as these streams are going, to support the 3-month meditation program, I'm looking at every 2 weeks. That might have to change at 1 or 2 points in the program depending on my movements, but I'm going to try to aim every 2 weeks. So the next one we're aiming for is the 15th of March. And that then leads me to other things, other resources to support you. I think most people by now have signed up to the forum on the website. If you haven't had your thing approved, let me know, but I've been through all the approvals that I've seen. On the forum, when you get there, when you first go in, you'll see the Self Realisation community in the top goldy yellow bar. To get to the 28-day and 3-month programs forum, in that header bar, you click on forums, the word forums. That will take you to a page where you'll see, I think it's at the top of the page, there's a 28-day and 3-month program forum, and then there's a Self-Realisation community forum. You're welcome to look at both, by the way. You have access to both. But the one specifically for the 3-month program is that one. And if you click on that, you'll see, when you go to the headline post, a series of headings that I've set up that were previously used for the 28-day program. And those headings include welcome and how to use the forum, a section for sharing insights and experiences, a section where you might want to ask questions about the meditation program or any aspect of self-realization, a section on meditation tips, a section on daily inspirations. I'm not planning to do a daily inspiration for the next 3 months. There's a list of 28 inspirations on there already. I'm not going to add to that unless something else specifically comes. There's a section for where all the live streams will go. And I've added one called community discussion. And the idea behind that one is if you just want to share some stuff without having an answer to a question, or for other people to see, saying hello to the other members of the community, that's a place you can do that, a very general discussion. You are free to add any others, by the way, as well. But it's the yellow ones at the top which I've kind of created for you. So that community discussion one is a new one I've added. I just thought it would be a good idea if people wanted to share, see how others are getting on. You can post your stuff there and then other people can go and see it and reply. So that's the vehicle to use. The other thing that you could use the forum for, if you wanted, you have a personal profile on there, and you can put notes against your personal. It doesn't have to. That doesn't go in those main headings, but goes in your own sort of section. And for instance, if you wanted, excuse me, to just kind of record, your own things. They are publicly visible, by the way, but if you wanted just to record where you're at, once a week, for instance, for your own personal record, you can do that. You can do that. So you could use the forum for that if you wanted. It's up to you. But it's an opportunity for you to interact with it. So one thing I recommend that you do, if you are posting anything on the forum, always make sure you tick the box to see, especially if there's a question being asked, that you get notified when it's been responded to. Or tick a box, to see replies to your post. That way you'll be notified if there's something that you've shared somebody else has read and they have responded. It will come to your email inbox. And if you do get too many of those, you can always unsubscribe from that. But at least you'll know if you've posted a comment and somebody's responded, you'll get a notification to your email. So that there's all sorts of facilities on there, but that's the kind of thing. I will post all the streams on the forum, as well as on the channel, as well as on the main website. Anything else I've missed there? Yeah, one-to-ones. I think there's a number of those that have been from the legacy from Genie have been allocated to people who have made it clear that they would like a one-to-one and fit into the other criteria, which is of low or no income. If there's anybody who wants a one-to-one who fits into those brackets and has not yet told me, please let me know. There are a few still available. So please let me know if you want. There are a few still available. And these one-to-ones can be arranged at any time during the 3 months, subject to your and my availability, clearly. And I've also got some good news there, is that there's been 2 people, and I'm very grateful, who have offered to fund a further one-to-one or a contribution towards. So there's going to be at least one other, in addition to the 10 one-to-one available, maybe up to 2. So there's a very, very grateful to receive those donations. And if anybody else who doesn't fit into either of those categories wants a one-to-one, then a donation would be welcome. But it's up to you. It's not essential. It's your choice. I would say the guidance I would give you is, if you feel the call, that's great. But if you don't, then you don't need to. So there's a few spaces available, and there's at least 1, if not 2 more, because of the generosity of some of the people on the stream. Thank you to those people. So yeah, do let me know. Do let me know if you would like to participate in the one-to-ones. Any questions? Any questions? And also, I would also add that if I feel that an individual will specifically benefit greatly from more one-to-one and the list hasn't been taken up, then there may be a possibility of getting more than one if you're in the low or no income bracket. Okay, Leah, I've noticed your comment there, so maybe we can explore that. I'll just note you down. Anyway, just the list I've got, just so I don't forget. So yeah, there's a number of ways we can do that, but it's really great that there's so many people taking part, and we've got this opportunity to kind of mix and match. It's really about honouring Jeannie's thing, and what I shared with Jeannie was all about the infinite silence meditation. Literally knew her probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks most in the physical domain, but it touched her so deeply that she wanted to leave this legacy for you. And that's why I'm running this program, and that's why I'm focusing on the infinite silence meditation. Wonderful. I think that's all I wanted to cover in terms of admins. Quite a lot there, and that's what I'll try and do, is split these two parts of the video so that you've got the whole thing and then the insight and then the admin bit. Hopefully we'll be able to do that. So enough with the admin, unless there's any questions. Let's now go for a live stream meditation. So you just want to get yourself nice and comfortable, whether you're sitting or lying down. And just gently now closing your eyes. And as you close your eyes, just bring your attention to your body. All of your body. And then simply being open from your heart to the experience of spheres of light. The pure universal sense, I am. That is non-personal. I am. Just allowing your attention to rest on this beingness, this I amness. This spheres of light energy. And as your attention rests on this. Simply know now that this is possible, because as subtle as this I amness, this beingness may be, it is witnessed or sensed from the deeper essence that is infinite silence. So simply allow your attention now to melt, to dissolve into and as this silence. This infinite silence. Resting deeper, dissolving completely into and as this silence. All else just simply witnessed. All phenomena just watched silently, neutrally, simply knowing you are the silence. This infinite silence. All phenomena dissolving into, merging with the silence. In truth, you will realize you are silence. In silence, you will realize this truth. Simply here, now. Nothing remaining but the pure awareness of silence. Here it is. Here you are. This non-personal essence of infinite silence. Pure awareness of self, non-personal essence. Absolute stillness. Eternity. Here, now. Always this. Always here. Absolute awareness. Infinite silence. Ever presence. Stillness. Beyond space. Beyond time. Beyond the beyond. Before I am. is isness. Isness is infinite. Silence is you. Pure presence. The rarefied atmosphere of silence. Unsaid knowing. Nothing else but this. Just this. Here. Now. Nowhere else but here. Now. Here. Nothing to do here. Simply is. Truth. This. Just this. Isness. that is before all else. This unseen seer. This unmoved mover. Silence. Presence. Stillness. Unlimited. Essence. No beginning, no end. Simple eternity. So simple. Infinitely powerful. Just this. No thingness. This realized essence is you. Non-personal truth. no belief necessary. Just knowing. Knowing of this infinite self as this infinite self through this infinite self. Here you are, the true, non-personal you. And just remaining in, through, and as that silence. I'll just hopefully have some harp music for you, and I'll be back shortly. Stay in and as that silence whilst listening. just remaining with your attention in and as the silence. And I'll just ring the singing bowl 3 times. And gently bringing your awareness to your body, but keeping the attention rested in and as the silence. And if you haven't already done so, just gently opening your eyes. Good. Good, good. Good. Namaste. So we'll just see if there's anything anybody wants to share from the meditation, or perhaps ask from what was being shared earlier. I'll just put the logo screen and hopefully with heart music back on for a moment, just whilst we check that, and I'll be back. So if there's any questions or anything anybody wants to share, do that now whilst the logo screen and harp music are up. I'm going to say a few hellos to people I think I missed earlier, and that was Tracy, John, I think Asher, Debbie, not sure if I picked up Leotilda or Lisbeth either. So possibly Lois as well. So yeah. So just going to put the logo screen back on, and hopefully you'll hear the harp, and I'll be back in a moment. Please share any experiences or questions. Back shortly. back, folks. Hope you enjoyed that harp. It looked like it worked from the streaming software this time, so I'm pleased about that. Yeah, so yeah, lots of thank yous. Thank you all for taking part, and yeah, thank you for your comment, Dan. A pleasure to erase all the filters and structures. That's exactly what we're about here. What's D saying? I melted into that meditation this evening, and I've realized since my deepened experience 3 weeks ago, I've been a little reluctant to allow myself to melt in case I went any deeper. Yeah, little trick of minds trying to come in there and hold you back there, D. But I'm glad that you've seen that. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, so thank you all for coming on. I realise this stream's quite long, but there was quite a lot of ground to cover. Oh, hello to Sean. I don't know if I picked up Sean earlier either. So yeah, welcome to you as well. Thank you so much for coming. Any questions we can still take. As I say, we've got a pretty big spread. I'll just go through the countries that I know again. So that was USA, UK, Trinidad and Tobago, Netherlands, Belgium, the Philippines, Russia, Sweden and Canada. So this 3-month program that you're embarking on, that's fairly well a good span of the globe. So, and you never know, we might get some people from the Southern Hemisphere joining us. I know that people from the Southern Hemisphere do watch this. So yeah, who knows? So really, folks, make this 30 minutes a day, Ita Lewis, your number one priority for any day. It's 30 minutes, infinite silence. You will not regret it if you can commit to that. Use the meditations I recommended till you get completely comfortable with them. And then you'll be able to do them anytime, any place, anywhere. And the end of the line, so to speak, is that you will realize you are the living meditation. Yes, you are the living meditation. What's Asha saying here? I still had that same conked out experience. Is that okay? I'm accepting that as fine. I think the short answer to that, Asha, is yes, it's fine. Maybe we can have a longer conversation about that in terms of how that's unfolding for you and using the power of the witnessing to notice what's unfolding. For me, it feels like for you, a big part of it is showing you there's more here than you realize. So simply accept that for now. Just remain as the witness no matter what. Sometimes when one goes very, very deep, all awareness of all phenomena drop completely. And as, shall we say, you come back into normal, let's say, back into the space, it may feel a little bit like coming out of a sleep, but it's different from sleep. Like you're coming back online, so to speak. Yeah, I like that. They will become martini people, anytime, any place, anywhere. Like this, Asha. So I feel it's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong there. Lisbeth, you're very, very welcome. I'm delighted you can join us on this program. Please say hello to Philippe and Jewel. Where are we? Elizabeth, I found this was, I was going deeper. So I was going deeper, thoughts would interfere and become aware and then continue. Yeah, so you may get this from time to time. Thought tries to, so we say, get in on the act. But if you simply remain as the witness, then the thought is going to pass like a cloud. So remaining as that silent witness that we talked about at great length in live stream 11. Asha, I don't feel so groggy afterwards or disoriented. This then, for me, is probably for you a good sign of progress. And for me, it's also a pointer to the power of the infinite silence meditation. You're perhaps becoming more aligned with it and embracing what it's pointing at more. So the quality of the meditation may vary as you deepen into it. So that's a good sign that you've just shared with me there, Asha. Good. So yeah, good stuff. Have I missed anybody else's comments? Lisbeth saying deep gratitude. Philip and to all connected here. Yeah, we're all in this together, folks. So as I say, I think there's maybe 37 or so, something like that, who are on the program. Not all on the stream tonight. Some will be on catch up. But yeah, just a few things to finish off with. Any questions you can still put up, any comments you can still put up. Next stream I'm planning for the 15th of March. 15th of March, that's 2 weeks today. Same time, 2000 hours UK time. 2000 hours UK time. I'm not sure if I said hello to Heather either earlier, by the way, Heather Houston. So hello to you, Heather. Yeah, so 2000 hours UK time, 15th of March. I'm also at the monastery in Manchester on Sunday the 10th of March for the Find Yourself at the Monastery Self Realisation program. That's 11:30 till 1600, Sunday the 10th of March. Most of you who are in the area know that anyway, but yeah, that's the next date. And I've got I had a number of inspirations for streams that have been coming to me that will form part of the program. Some of you who are new to the streams, it might seem a little deep, some of the stuff to start off with, so you can watch back streams. But there's a few other pointings that are emerging that I feel would be particularly useful. So I'll announce those on the channel and probably email you all before the next stream. By the way, I did mean to say that the emails regarding this program have gone out on the 24th of February, and it was resent by the mailing program on the 26th for those that hadn't seen that one. If you've not seen your email, check one of those dates, 24th or 26th. All the information, all the links are in there. I'll be putting the stream, as I say, on the website, both on the forum and on the main site. And I may get the opportunity to split this stream into 2 parts if anybody wants to listen to that. So you should have the facility to see the whole thing. And it in parts. If I can do that, I think you can. So yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to say. Embrace the silence, embrace the opportunity, embrace the opportunity of a lifetime. Thank you for Jeannie for being the inspiration that's driven this program, and for those that have donated as well. And if anybody, as I say, is wanting a one-to-one, give me a shout. I think that's everything from me. So, as the saying goes, it's good night from me, and it's good night from him. That's the two Ronnies for you overseas folks, a couple of comedians. But anyway, namaste. Have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy the program. Embrace the program. I'll see you on here in a couple of weeks, and feel free to reply to the email or message on the forum or whatever in between times. I'll leave you with the harp. Oh, and I've just seen Vivian. I don't think I said hello to you, Vivian, either. So, hello.